Hello and welcome. You're watching Express News, a show where we take you through the top news stories of the day. I'm MUKHERJEE. Let's get started. A crucial meeting of the Congress Working Committee was held amid divisions in the party over the leadership issue. According to sources, Sonia Gandhi sought initiation of the process to elect a new party president. The party is divided on the leadership matter, with a section demanding collective leadership and another reposing faith in the Gandhi family. Sources also say Rahul Gandhi criticized a letter by some leaders and questioned its timing. Earlier, Kapil Sibal tweeted saying, Rahul Gandhi says we are colluding with BJP, succeeded in Rajasthan High Court defending the Congress party, defending party in Manipur to bring down BJP government. Last 30 years have never made a statement in favor of BJP on any issue yet. We are colluding with the BJP. Kapil Sibal later tweeted saying was informed by Rahul Gandhi personally that he never said what was attributed to him. I therefore withdraw my tweet. BJP leader Jyotiraditya Scindia refused to comment on Congress's internal bickering and developments in the CWC meeting. He termed this as Congress's internal matter. He was speaking on the sidelines of a membership drive program in Gwalior today. While addressing BJP workers in Gwalior, Scindia slammed the Congress for spreading corruption and urged the people to choose development. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said that Congress's future is in darkness and that nobody can save such a party. He said that the person who speaks right is traitor for the Congress and those who are sycophants are only faithful to the Congress. A new office premises of Delimitation Commission was inaugurated by its chairperson Justice Ranjan Desai today in presence of Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora, Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa and others. The office is located on the 3rd floor of Hotel Ashok. The flood situation in Bihar remains unchanged. 1,333 panchayats and 130 blocks of 16 districts are affected. A population of over 83 lakhs is facing the deluge. The river Ganga is also flowing above the danger mark in many places. Some areas, the people have returned to their homes as water has partially receded from some villages. 6 relief camps are being run in Khagadia and Samastipur, where over 5,000 people are sheltered. 1.6 lakh people are being provided cooked meals through 190 community kitchens in worst-hit areas. In Uttar Pradesh, 1,090 villages in 16 districts have been affected by floods. River Sharda, Rapti, Saryu are flowing above the danger mark. UP Chief Minister has instructed district magistrates to provide materials through boats in flood-affected areas. 15 teams of NDRF and 7 teams of SDRF and PSC have been deployed in flood-affected districts for rescue measures. Heavy rainfall has also lashed several parts of Gujarat. Saurashtra and Kutch have been receiving widespread rainfall, while the Machu Dam at Morbi overflows, leading to the opening of 12 gates of the dam. Rajkot has also been receiving incessant rainfall, leading to waterlogging in several areas since Sunday morning. Over 1,000 people have been rescued after floodwater entered into houses in Jangaleshwar area. The local administration has appealed to people to stay away from floodwaters. Incessant rains resulted in waterlogging in North Gujarat districts of Patan, Sabarkantha, Mehsana, Aravali and Banaskantha. World Heritage Site Rani Ki Vav in Patan too witnessed fresh flow of water. Chief Secretary Anil Mukim chaired a meeting on Sunday with officials at State Emergency Centre Gandhinagar to view the preparedness. With increased rainfall activity during the weekend, number of dams in Gujarat are filled up to maximum capacity and have also been put on high alert. NDRF teams have been deployed across the state. The Met Department has predicted heavy to extremely heavy rainfall in many districts till Tuesday morning. In Andhra Pradesh, as the inflow from upper states reduced, situation is slowly becoming normal. Godavari waters started receding and normally slowly coming in, with present water levels at 41.7 feet at Bhadrachalam Temple Town in Bhadradi, Kothagudem district of Telangana. On the fourth day of investigation, CBI is questioning Siddharth Pithani, Neeraj Singh and Deepesh Sawant at Santa Cruz. CBI team has also visited the resort where Sushant Singh Rajput spent time with Riya Chakravarti, the main accused in this case. CBI officials also visited Cooper Hospital where post-mortem was done. The much-awaited ropeway service from Guwahati to North Guwahati over River Brahmaputra was opened for the public from today. This is the country's longest river ropeway service, covering a distance of 2 kilometers from south bank to north bank of River Brahmaputra and will cover the distance in 7 minutes. Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district will soon come up with the world's highest railway bridge. The bridge would be 35 meters taller than Eiffel Tower and 1.3 kilometers long. The bridge will connect Kashmir Valley with Katra and Jammu and the rest of the country. Today is the first death anniversary of Arun JAITLEY, who held the portfolios of Defence, Finance and Corporate Affairs and Information and Broadcasting as part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Ministers Amit Shah and Prakash Javadekar paid tribute to former Union Minister and senior BJP leader Arun JAITLEY on his first death anniversary. Remembering his friends, Prime Minister Modi tweeted saying, "On this day last year, we lost Shri Arun JAITLEY ji. I miss my friend a lot. Arun ji diligently served India. His wit, intellect, legal acumen and warm personality were legendary." PM Modi also shared a video of his speech on Arun JAITLEY's prayer meet. Home Minister Amit Shah in his tweet remembered Arun JAITLEY as an outstanding politician, prolific orator and a great human being who had no parallels in Indian polity. Shah further said that JAITLEY was multifaceted and a friend of friends who will always be remembered for his starring legacy, transformative vision and devotion to the nation. And Minister Prakash Javadekar also paid an emotional tribute to former Union Minister Padma Vibhushan Arun JAITLEY on his death anniversary. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has decided to extend the validity of fitness, permits, licenses, registration or other documents under the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 and Central Motor Vehicle Rules 1989 till the 31st of December 2020. Pakistan violated ceasefire in Jammu and Kashmir's Sundarbani sector in Rajouri district with firing with small arms and shelling with mortars along LOC. Indian Army retaliated befittingly. Prashant Bhushan has refused to give an unconditional apology in the contempt of court case in a supplementary statement to the Supreme Court. Bhushan said that he expressed himself in good faith, not to malign the Supreme Court or any particular Chief Justice, but to offer constructive criticism so that the court can arrest any drift away from its long-standing role as a guardian of the Constitution of people's rights. In India, the recovery rate has crossed 75%, while the case fatality rate has also dropped to 1.85%. 57,069 recoveries were recorded yesterday, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 23,38,035. India's three-pronged strategy of test, trace and treat is proving to be a success. The fatality rate has dropped to 1.85% with 57,542 deaths recorded so far. The number of active COVID-19 cases in India stands at 7,10,771, which is 22.88% of the total cases reported so far. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, total number of samples tested up to 23rd August is 3,59,02,137, including 6,09,917 samples that were tested yesterday. Aggressive testing has led to early identification and isolation of COVID-19 positive cases. In a tweet, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare said that the gap between recoveries and COVID-19 active cases continues to widen. The recoveries are more than 3 times the active cases. A 500-bedded COVID hospital today started functioning in Vidya area of Patna in Bihar. The Union Home Minister of State's Nityanand Rai inaugurated the hospital constructed by the DRDO. Andhra Pradesh Police in Dodhavaram village of East Godavari district used a boat to take a COVID-19 patient to hospital as the village is flooded following incessant rainfall in the region. PIYUSH GOYAL, Minister of Railways and Commerce and Industry, reviews the progress of Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation India Limited. Strict monitoring of work of all contractors is to be done. And the condition of PRANAB MUKHERJEE remains unchanged. He is deeply comatose and is being treated for respiratory infection. His vital parameters are stable and he continues to be on ventilatory support. Equity benchmarks, Sensex and Nifty closed near 6-month highs on Monday as investors scooped up banking and financial stocks amid supportive global cues. BSE Sensex opened in the green and gained further momentum as the session progressed. It finally closed at 38,799.08, up 364.36 points or 0.95%. NSE Nifty jumped 94.85 points or 0.83% to finish at 11,466.45. This is the highest closing for both the benchmarks since late February this year. The rupee soared by 52 paise to close at a more than 5-month high of 74.32 against the US dollar on Monday, in line with upbeat domestic equities and sustained foreign fund inflows. Gold prices witnessed volatile trading on Monday and dipped marginally by 44 rupees to 53,040 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital, according to HDFC Securities. Silver prices on Monday rose 83 rupees to 67,150 rupees per kg in the futures trade as participants widened their bets on firm spot demand. Crude oil prices on Monday rose 40 rupees to 3,195 rupees per barrel as participants widened their position on firm spot demand. The CBIC has asked GST field officers to conduct hearings in GST appeal cases via video conferencing while ensuring social distancing. The Finance Ministry has said that GST has reduced the rate at which people have to pay tax, helped increase compliance and doubled taxpayer base to 1.24 crore. Gaya Prasad, a progressive farmer from Uttar Pradesh's Barabanki, has become famous after he successfully cultivated American dragon fruit in his farm. After investing in this crop only once, it can yield income for about 25 years compared to traditional farming. Besides dragon fruit, Gaya Prasad is also cultivating various other foreign varieties of wheat and rice. 10-day-long Ganesh festival is being celebrated across Maharashtra. A COVID-19 hospital-themed Ganesh Pandal has been set up in Nagpur. Wearing a white coat and armed with a stethoscope, Lord Ganesha is the center of attention for visitors. A Japanese expert team has released a video showing coral reefs in the area of an oil spill from a Japanese bulk carrier that ran aground off Mauritius. The videos show a team member checking the status of coral reefs. The team confirmed healthy coral reefs. As visitor numbers slumped during the pandemic, Vietnam's oldest zoo has scrambled to survive, such as holding fundraising drives, cutting pay and growing fruit and vegetables to feed the animals. Wildlife officials in Sri Lanka rescued a baby elephant trapped in a well. After a Herculean effort, the baby elephant was pulled out of the shallow well and was driven back into a jungle in the northern central Mullaitivu district using firecrackers. In a separate incident, wildlife officials in the central hills of Gampola found a leopard which had died in a snare. This is the third hill leopard to be killed in the last 3 months. Laying snares to catch wild animals is illegal in Sri Lanka. The Chinese city of Suzhou, one of the world's largest bridal goods exporters, is feeling the chill as couples all over the world delayed, downsized or cancelled their nuptials because of the coronavirus pandemic. The manufacturing hub in eastern China also hosts factories belonging to Apple suppliers as well as a technology center for Microsoft. Israeli archaeologists discovered a trove of golden coins from an excavation site in the central region. Israeli youths have unearthed hundreds of gold coins stashed away in a clay vessel for more than a millennium. Over 2 crore 36 lakh coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with more than 8,12,000 deaths. As many as 1.6 crore people have been recovered from the virus so far. The US remains the worst hit by the pandemic so far, with highest number of infection. The US has over 58,75,000 cases of coronavirus with a death toll of more than 1,80,000. US President Donald Trump has said that the coronavirus treatment with blood plasma donated by COVID-19 recovered patients will be expanded to more people. Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson is asking parents to set aside their fears and send their children back to school next month when schools in Britain fully reopen for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic shut them. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said it was the government's moral duty to reopen the schools. Hearing is underway in the Christchurch court of the Australian gunman who killed 51 Muslim worshippers in New Zealand's worst mass shooting last year in March. The March 2019 attacks sent shockwaves around the world and prompted New Zealand to make swift changes to its gun laws. Mediators from West Africa's regional bloc reached an agreement on certain points during talks with Mali's military junta that is aimed at returning the country to civilian rule. At least 13 people were crushed to death or asphyxiated in Peru as partygoers tried to flee a Lima nightclub that was raided by police. The partygoers got trapped between the only entrance door, which was pushed closed in the chaos, and a staircase leading to the street. US President Donald Trump has approved a disaster declaration for California as the state battles some 24 major wildfires burning across the state. The disaster declaration frees up federal funds to help residents and businesses harmed by the fires in 7 counties and helps pay for temporary housing and repairs. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo landed in Israel to start his week-long tour of the region that will focus on Israel's normalizing of ties with UAE and pushing other Arab states to follow suit. The agreement between Israel and the UAE to normalize diplomatic ties has been welcomed by the US. In a joint news conference, Pompeo also said that the US would do everything in its power to extend the international arms embargo on Iran under discussion at the UN. Amid the ongoing pandemic, Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential nominee, said that he has no plans to begin a more aggressive campaign schedule with a bit more than 2 months to precede the November 3 election and will stick to his stay-at-home strategy. White House advisor Kellyanne Conway to leave the administration of US President Donald Trump at the end of August, citing the need to focus on her family. She has been one of Trump's most loyal and outspoken defenders. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who suffers from an inflammatory bowel disease, returned from a checkup at a Tokyo hospital to reassure over the state of health and insist he wanted to do the best job possible. South Korea's capital Seoul mandated the wearing of face masks in both indoor and outdoor public places for the first time as the country battles a surge in coronavirus cases centered in the densely populated city region. The Australian state of Victoria reported its lowest daily rise in new coronavirus infections in 7 weeks, and the country was also on course to report its lowest one-day rise in cases. A drone footage in the Dominican Republic showed the trail of destruction left behind Tropical Storm Laura, with residents left helpless. Storm Laura dumped heavy rain and strong winds over the Dominican Republic. The Army 2020 Annual Defense Show opened its doors to visitors in the Moscow region and is being held together with the International Army Games. The Army 2020 Expo will host military demonstrations and conferences until the 29th of August. Tens of thousands of protesters demanding Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko step down defied a warning from the military and flooded into Minsk, briefly gathering near the president's residence before dispersing peacefully. The protests have provided the biggest challenge yet to Lukashenko's 26 years at the helm and tested the loyalty of his security forces. The practitioners are warning of a national mental health emergency in Beirut after the blast which killed 181 people as people begin to show signs of trauma from the explosion, including nightmares, flashbacks, crying, anxiety, anger and exhaustion. Protests have erupted in the U.S. state of Wisconsin following a police shooting of a reportedly unarmed black man, forcing officials to impose a curfew in the city of Kenosha. There have been ongoing protests in the U.S. against police brutality and racism since the death of George Floyd. An explosion on the Arab gas pipeline has caused a power blackout in Syria, and initial indications point to an attack. The electricity minister later said that power had gradually started being restored to the country's provinces. The Arab gas pipeline system extends from Egypt into Jordan and Syria. Bayern Munich defeated Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in the Champions League final in Lisbon. Bayern claimed the crown for the sixth time. Bayern also became the first team to win every match en route to the Champions League title. Kingsley Coman scored the only goal just before the hour as Bayern made it 11 wins out of 11 in the league this season. They are the first unbeaten champion since Manchester United in 2007-2008. Bayern coach Hansi Flick scores a hat-trick of titles, added the Champions League to the Bundesliga and German Cup titles. He now boasts of 3 trophies in less than a year. It was a night of bitter disappointment for PSG's 2 superstars Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. Both lost opportunities to score. Bayern Munich fans celebrated after the team was crowned European champions for the 6th time. Fans were seen singing, dancing and honking their car horns. More than 140 people were arrested at Paris Saint-Germain. Fans set cars ablaze and clashed with police in the Champs-Élysées after the Champions League final defeat to Bayern Munich. England have enforced the follow-on Pakistan, who were bowled out for 273 runs in their first innings in Southampton Test. Day 4 of the match is also affected by rain. Legendary South African all-rounder Jacques Kallis, Pakistan's batting legend Zaheer Abbas and Australian World Cup winning all-rounder Lisa Sthalekar have been inducted into the ICC's Hall of Fame. Retired from international cricket in 2014, Kallis has been inducted into the Hall of Fame almost as soon as he became eligible. He is widely regarded as one of the cricket's greatest all-rounders. He is the 4th South African inducted into the Hall of Fame. Rebels FC launched a girls' football academy in a bid to promote women football at the grassroots level. The full-fledged residential football program, integrated with educational pursuits, is located at a sprawling campus in Bengaluru. Rohan Bopanna and his Canadian partner Denis Shapovalov lost in the opening round of the Western and Southern Open men's doubles event. Bopanna and Shapovalov lost 4-6, 6-7 to Marcel Granollers and Horacio Zeballos. Grigor Dimitrov won his first round match at the Western and Southern Open on Sunday, 2 months after barely being able to walk while ill with COVID-19. Stefanos Tsitsipas outstood 2-time Grand Slam finalist Kevin Anderson 6-1, 6-3 to reach the 3rd round of the Western and Southern Open. SNARE eliminated his doubles partner Hubert Hurkacz 7-5, 6-4 after 1 hour and 39 minutes in Western and Southern Open. The match came down to who withstood pressure better, with SNARE saving the 2 break points he faced while breaking his 23-year-old opponent twice. 40-year-old Venus Williams lost to 20-year-old Diana Yastremska 5-7, 6-2, 7-5 in Western and Southern Open. Karolina Pliskova and Sofia Kenin get a shock before US Open. Both took straight set defeats in their opening round matches in Western and Southern Open. 2-time Australian Open champion Victoria Azarenka defeated number 15 Donna Vick Western and Southern Open. This is Azarenka's first tour win in 1 year. Japan's Takuma Sato won the Indianapolis 500 for the 2nd time in 4 years on Sunday. Sato cruised across the finish line unchallenged after Spencer Pigot crashed into the wall with 5 laps to run. Justin Johnson registered an 11-shot victory at the Northern Trust Open. He also took back the world #1 ranking with the 22nd win of his career and 2nd of the season. KTM Tech's Miguel Oliveira became the first Portuguese rider to claim a MotoGP victory in the Syrian Grand Prix on Sunday. Oliveira edged Pramac Ducati's Jack Miller and pole sitter Paul Espargaro of KTM in a three-way battle on the final lap, sealing a first-ever Premier Class victory for the KTM Tech 3 team. That's it then in this edition of Express News. News and updates will continue on DD News and DD India.